This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL Hello. It's Wednesday, May 13th. We made it halfway through the week. I'm Tori in the studio with Al.
How you doing?
How you doing?
You know what I realized that my girl told me I do this a lot? I talk to her like I talk to Baby Ford. When I go, hello, like when we FaceTime, I go, hello, Mr. Mustache.
Hello, Mr.
Yeah, so I'm sorry I talked to you like
No, I like it. I'm fine. My dog voice bothers everyone. Stephanie is also joining us, working from home. Steph, how you doing? How you doing, Stephanie?
I've got my cup of tea, Tori. I can hear your beautiful voices. I'm doing all right, darling. I'm okay.
Man, she makes me feel like a warm bath.
Her darling is the equivalent to when like a Southern woman calls me honey.
You love when they call you hun or honey. He loves that. All right. We are actually, it looks like we're all going to get our shot to see the Broadway production of Hamilton. Disney Plus is releasing the hit musical a little early. And if you're not familiar with the production, here's a sample of what to expect. Take a look.
I'm thinking past tomorrow.
The rap musical will hit the streaming service on July 3rd. That's cool. Right in time for July 4th. It was originally slated
Nothing
to be...
gets past you, Tori.
Real detective up here. Sherlock Schulman. Slated to be released October 2021, but they're going to move it up. Broadway announced yesterday that its shows likely won't reopen until September at the earliest. Al, you took your mother to see Hamilton.
I did. We went to Chi-Town.
And it was like the most amazing experience. What'd you think?
Yes. Stephanie, I think I told you I was a puddle in my seat crying. Almost, it kind of reminded me of when I watched the Beyonce Homecoming documentary and I was crying on the couch in Idaho. Like I said, I literally was. It just like sometimes when you see art that's that beautiful, I almost didn't feel worthy that so many people put so much effort into my entertainment. So if you get a chance to see Hamilton, go do it. Stop what you're doing and watch Hamilton.
Yeah, because it would cost $1,000 million otherwise. Steph, are you excited to watch Disney Plus to see it?
Okay, so I'm a big musical and Broadway lover. I've seen so many shows, but you know what? Hamilton's the one show. I don't know why, but every time I've tried to get a ticket, they're like gold dust.
Oh, yeah.
You know, getting a ticket to Hamilton is near impossible, so I've not had the pleasure of seeing it. I was going to actually see it in Denver this summer, and then now obviously that's been cancelled, so I'm gutted. So I don't know whether or not to watch it on Disney Plus just so I've actually been able to see it because I've waited so long, or whether just to wait and watch it on the stage because obviously that's, you know, how it's intended. Like the atmosphere is different, so I don't know what to do. What do I do, Tori? I don't know.
I know what you mean. I got the chance to see it only because someone like I was on a waiting list. But here's what I think: it's the original cast, and you got to see the original cast. So I think you tune in because it's a once in a lifetime experience. I think it's gonna go crazy. People are gonna go nuts.
You think Hamilton will be big, Tori?
I think Hamilton will do well.
That's why people tune in for expert opinions like that.
Sherlock Schulman once again. All right, moving on. Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, A League of Their Own. Oh, just some of the great films and TV shows from the late, great Gary Marshall. The filmmaker was remembered during a special on ABC, and Julia Roberts talked about her time working with Gary on Pretty Woman. The movie basically made Julia a star and earned her a Golden Globe and Oscar nomination. I did not know that. The actress got emotional when recalling a gift that Gary gave her after filming Wrapped. Watch.
The necklace had a diamond heart on it, and it's so that I would always remember that wherever I was, that there was someone that loved me and was on my side.
Okay, first of all, we'll have a whole thing on Julia Roberts, but Gary Marshall made like your perfect rom-coms, feel-good classic. Do you have a favorite, Al, or do you love, is Pretty Woman your favorite?
Pretty Woman's not my favorite, but A League of Their Own is. I love that movie so much. I thought it was such an interesting time to capture, and I thought the acting, I thought everybody really stepped up. I thought Tom Hanks was awesome in that. Some really classic, obviously there's no crying in baseball, but Little Slice of Heaven, that was a good line too.
That is too. And do you also remember Marla Hooch?
Yes.
Marla Hooch. Stephanie, tell me about your Pretty Woman. I feel like you were close to this film because it's a rom-com.
Oh my gosh, okay, so I literally love all of his work. His back catalogue is actually fantastic. Overboard from 1987, the year I was born, one of the best movies I've ever seen. Runaway Bride, obviously 9 years, that was made after Pretty Woman when we first really got to see another side of Julia Roberts. He made Julia Roberts, let's be honest. I mean, obviously her talent was there, but it was his nurturing, his guidance, his directing that really put her on that big screen. And I think, you know, he's blessed us with the Princess Diaries. I know that might not be Al's favourite, but I love it. There's been some amazing ones. I mean, it's a sad day, but you know what? He's left a legacy.
It's absolutely true. I got to hear him speak once at Northwestern, and the man was like, if you have a boom and it's in the middle of your shot and it's a good take, keep it. He was really funny.
I like that.
Yeah, I really liked him. Moving on, it seems that the pandemic is getting to mom-to-be Katy Perry. The singer recently tweeted out this message to fans saying, quote, sometimes I don't know what's worse, trying to avoid the virus or the waves of depression that come with this new norm. Katy is pregnant with her first child with Orlando Bloom and is also set to give birth to a new single, Daisies, on Friday. The song has all sparked rumors of a collaboration with her nemesis, Taylor Swift. Taylor recently posted this photo wearing a sweater covered in daisies. I know this is embarrassing and I'm 38, but I really like to get into that, I'm like, ooh, maybe it was an Easter egg about the daisies. That does sound very much like a Taylor Swift, Katy Perry thing to do. But Steph, how do you feel? You're pregnant, you can't go on concerts, your whole American Idol's caught. I get it.
Oh my gosh, I mean, it's tough enough for everyone, you know, that isn't pregnant, that aren't growing a human and have a million hormones and a million things going on in our lives, and she's trying to work, she's trying to film. You know, it's really, really difficult. I think, who knows with the Taylor Swift thing? I mean, obviously they are friends now, and Katy appeared in her music video a couple of years ago, so they were showing their camaraderie again. But, I mean, who knows if they're going to collaborate, but I think you'll be very excited because you love T Swift, don't you? So would that make you like the single more if they are in it together?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Al, you are a huge Katy Perry, Taylor Swift. You follow this intensely. How do you feel about this? Do you think they're coming out together?
I think they do, and I think this collaboration, if it does happen, speaks more to the human spirit. This entire COVID-19 lockdown pandemic, which has changed all of our lives in a lot of cases for the worse, but there have been things for the better. They've caused us all to step back and see what's really important. If she's still touring, if she has a baby, if she's still on American Idol, is she going to stop and analyze her relationship with Taylor Swift? No. But once everything stops and she pulls back and she goes, why am I beefing with somebody that I can relate to almost more than anybody else on the planet, and vice versa? And I think this has given us all a chance to step back and look at our life under a microscope and see what's important and what's not. And maybe they realize that they can do a lot more as a team than they can do separately.
That's great. Al, what's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Shake It Off.
What's your second favorite?
Ooh.
I'm sorry?
The Boy Is Mine?
The Boy Is Mine. Cool. No, it's a good single. Really quick, I just want to go back. I believe, and I'm right, if the booth can make sure, Penny Marshall, Gary Marshall's sister, actually did A League of Their Own, directed A League of Their Own. We want to make sure. Gary Marshall was in it. No, it was in the prompter. We got it wrong. Gary Marshall was in it as the candy bar guy, if you remember. And of course, they're very close, and Penny Marshall was Laverne. So we just wanted to give her credit where credit is due. Well, Meghan Markle reportedly wants to fast track the release date of a book about her life with Prince Harry, Finding Freedom. Harry, Meghan, and the Making of a Modern Royal Family is set to be released around the world in August, but the Duchess of
Sussex
apparently wants the book to come out sooner. That's actually not a bad marketing idea. The biography details their split from the royal family and eventual move to the United States, and it will reportedly set the record straight about why they were left with no choice but to leave royal life. Steph, I got to go to you. She's good with marketing herself. She was on a hit TV show. I don't think she's wrong in pushing up this date because everyone's home and with nothing to do.
Exactly. I mean, right now, obviously, people are reading, people are watching more television and movies than ever at home, and that's why, obviously, we're seeing the likes of Hamilton, which now we can't watch on Broadway, being brought to Disney+. So I feel like if now is the perfect time for her to tell her side of the story and for people to really get invested in that. So I think this is genius.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know where the world is going to be in any country, do we, by the time August comes round. So I think the sooner the better for Meghan, and she knows what she's doing. She's a clever cookie.
She is, and Al, may I remind you, I'm a reader. Reading is sexy. And summertime, I read a ton of books, and this is one I would totally, like a beach read, would want to just really grab my arms around it. What do you think about that? Smart move on her part.
Right, I mean, the comic in me goes, you know, when you hear Finding Freedom in Harry, you think it's going to be Ed Tubman instead of, you know, Harry and Meghan. But honestly, I do kind of want to know what was happening behind the scenes, because something had to have happened for these two to be like, I would rather move to Canada than deal with this one more day. And I think we will find out some of the really nefarious and nasty things that were done to them. Steph, you know more than me about just the British tabloids. Obviously, it cost Harry his mother. So I'd like to hear about this. And so one of you guys needs to read about it and tell me.
Yeah, I'll read about it and tell you. Steph will read about it and tell you, and I'll talk about it. But again, smart marketing move on Markle, a remarkable job on her part. Anyone?
Nice.
Steph, thank you very much, Steph. I appreciate it. You're going to stick around. Al's not. Coming up on DBL, we're catching up with Patrick Renna, the former child actor from The Sandlot. He's all grown up and sharing memories from the set. Plus, controversial rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine wanted to donate to charity, but they said no way since his activities don't align with their mission. We're sharing your DBL take. And as we go to break, I want to thank all my coworkers who are putting this show together from home.
Even me?
Even you? We'll be right back. I'm Ron Burgundy. Closed caption. Welcome back to DBL. This is a great story to get us talking. A generous donation, really, to keep kids from starving was declined, and it has y'all talking. Rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine tried to donate $200,000 to the No Kid Hungry organization, but the charity turned away the money because the controversial rapper's values don't align with their mission. So DBL Nation, what do? We go to you. Should donations ever be turned away? So what I'm going to do, Steph, Al, I'm going to read your comments, and then I'm going to get Stephanie and Al's take. Steph, you have the first comment, all right? Maxine, thank you for writing from Facebook, says, if you're fundraising, your goal should be to raise funds and not judge.
Well, I think, obviously, let's say there was a fundraiser, any single person can donate or participate in that, and I don't think that multiple charities look into every single donation. Obviously, this sum was a vast amount, but from obviously one particular individual who, yes, has got multiple charges against him and has been caught with firearms and all sorts of different allegations, which they may not find appeasing, but this is saving children's lives. This is no joke, and I think he's doing a very good deed. I definitely think in this situation they should have accepted the money gracefully and, you know, that let it go. People are starving in America right now. People aren't working. This is not the time to be like, I don't want your donation, which was very generous.
I agree, and also people can get better. They can better themselves. Well, here's the next comment. Al Abba, well, I hope she's a dancing queen from YouTube, says, I wouldn't want someone with a bad, quote, rap jeopardizing the intentions of my charitable organization either. Al, what do you have to say?
Abba, I really do understand where she's coming from with that, but I got to piggyback on what Steph said. Listen, when we're living in ideal times, we can be ideological. At this point, it seems like we're almost living in end times. We're not no panic. But at this point, we need funds wherever they can come from. A lot of people that would normally donate to this kind of organization are not working right now. Tekashi 6ix9ine he's willing to donate the money. Call me whatever you want, but call those kids $200,000 richer.
I agree with you completely. But Cheryl from Facebook says he should be the bigger person and have a family member or an anonymous donor make the contribution anyway for that same exact amount to prove a point. Steph, what do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure he could have gone around it in that way, but he probably didn't think that his very generous offer, which would save children's lives in some cases, would be declined. Let's be honest, some children right now, they rely on their school meals and their school dinners to be their one nutritious meal of the day. Maybe it's the only meal that they have. Schools are closed right now. Parents aren't working. There's not enough help or funds coming in. So why should he have to hide his name when he probably didn't even want the recognition? I mean, the only reason we're hearing about this is because they overly declined it. So yeah, I just think, I feel it's terrible. They should have just accepted it.
Yeah,
think of the children.
Again, really quickly though, if I had a charitable organization and let's say an anti-Semitic group wanted to donate, I might have a hard time with that.
I think it's up to your discretion, but in this case, this is just a rapper doing rapper stuff.
Rapper stuff, well said. Stephanie,
not all rappers.
Right. We'll see you later in the show next on DBL. You might remember him from The Sandlot. You're killing me, Smalls. We're talking to Patrick Renna next.
My favorite.
I love him.
Looks the same.
Yeah.
In the last year, there were 3 victims of cybercrime every second.
Welcome back to DBL. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You're killing me, Smalls.
Yes.
Thanks, Al. That iconic line is from the 90s classic The Sandlot, spoken by fan favorite smack talker Ham Porter. Earlier, Brandon caught up with Patrick Renna, who played the great Hambino, to talk all things Sandlot and Patrick's new YouTube series. So check it out in Chatting with the Stars.
Patrick Renna, first and foremost, man, thank you for joining DBL, man, taking time out of your schedule.
Yeah, my really busy schedule. You got it.
Now, I can't talk to the king of trash talk without mentioning your iconic role as Ham in The Sandlot. What has life been like for you after The Sandlot?
You know, it's been great. It's a wild experience to have been in a movie like that, because obviously when we were filming it, we had no idea it was going to turn into what it did. So, you know, I'm humbled and honestly just like flattered every time I meet someone that loves it so much, and it's pretty great to be part of something that has meant so much to so many people.
Is there any moments during filming that you can kind of bring us in, like behind the scenes, that a memory that you think of constantly?
I think we all have great memories of the pool scene, whether we were actually the one kissing the lifeguard like Squints, or we just lived vicariously through him as a 13, 12, or 11-year-old boy.
And you had mentioned that fans show you love when they see you out. Are they always trying to get you to say that iconic phrase, "You're killing me, Smalls"?
Yeah, you know, I've heard it a time or two. I love it, you know. I don't recite it as much as I probably should, just because I don't want to not do it the justice it deserves, because I think part of the humor is that I was 13 when I said, "You're killing me, Smalls." So it's a lot more charming coming out of a 13-year-old.
Well, you kind of know that I'm going to ask you to do it now for our fans and for me as well. Can we get one?
Ah, you're killing me, Smalls.
You still got it, bro. You still got it. There's a rumor going on that you guys are going to team up with Disney Plus for a series, and that David Evans, the original director behind The Sandlot, is behind this. Can you see the original gang getting back together?
I think we have a bond, and I think that bond and chemistry would show up in a TV series, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to do. So, and with that team back in action, I think we could have a good time.
So let's talk about your YouTube series. Your YouTube channel is now live, and it's pretty much brand new. You're Killing Me with Patrick Renna. What are some of the things that you were talking about that fans, why should they subscribe? And do you think that you're going to bring the cast of Sandlot back to kind of have a reunion on your YouTube series?
I'm definitely bringing them back, and I have some fun stuff with each of them coming up, Zoom quarantine style. We want to do like a big thing for 4th of July on the channel, and I've reached out to some MLB players because I have one in mind that I really want to host it. So we'll see if he says yes, but I think that would be pretty dope.
Hey, Patrick, thank you for joining DBL, man. You're Killing Me with Patrick Renna is live on YouTube now. Make sure you all go out and subscribe. Once again, thank you for joining DBL, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for brightening up my day a little bit.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Time for new
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. So online scams have risen dramatically during the coronavirus pandemic, and now there's an online tool to help fight it. So Google developed something called a password checkup tool. It helps protect people from online scams by showing you if your personal information, like passwords or banking information, has been compromised. So here's how it works. Maybe take a picture or screenshot of this. Go to passwords.google.com, sign into your Google account, and then just click password checkup option. Then you just have to review the results, and it'll show you if you have any compromised passwords, weak ones, or if you reuse any too many times. To protect yourself from fraud, call LifeLock at 1-800-438-1089. I think this is really smart of Google, Steph. It's like taking some pro action instead of just waiting to be scammed, right?
Of course, and I think it's something that we don't really think about until it happens to you or someone that you know. I've had a few scam emails that have definitely come through more frequently now that it's quarantine. I think people are asking for money or saying, you know, your Netflix account has expired and you need to pay, things that are not true at all. So please, please do this. Be safe. Have multiple passwords.
I agree. Al, you agree?
I completely agree.
Excellent. Thanks, Steph. Reminder, we're always new every day. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow.
Bye,
guys.
Steph.
Bye, Steph.